All right, so welcome to another Mindset Monday session. We are here from two powerhouse representatives from GFI. I have Roberto Jimenez with me and Claudio Perez. Can you both give us a little introduction about yourselves and tell us more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm Rob Jimenez. I retired from the Marine Corps after 15 years of service. Medically retired because I had a motorcycle accident, took me out of the fight. So when I was lost for purpose, this business found me, and GFI gave me an opportunity to become an entrepreneur and a business owner. All right. So I'm a marketing director, elite field trainer here with the team, and my main job is to assist families protect their assets, right? So everything from cash equity, wealth accumulation, generational wealth planning, right? That's really what we focus on and what we want to teach. Our main focus is financial literacy and education, right? Not so much the transaction. So that's a little bit about me and what we do. Um, and I would say, family's a big deal with me, right? Family's a big deal. Mindset's a big deal. So being a guest at Mindset Monday, right? When I got that opportunity, I just want to thank you for having us. It's super, super, super phenomenal, and we're honored to be here.
Thank you. And I appreciate you just being agreeing to be a part of our Mindset Mondays. Family is very important and it's at the heart of all of us. So I just love that you're able to, tie your family values into what you do and also into like what you do as an entrepreneur in your everyday work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Claudio, can you tell us a little bit more about you and what you do?
Yes, my name is Claudio Perez. I am Dominican. I was born and raised in New York. Don't get fooled by the accent. I'm a New Yorker by heart. So,
Right.
yeah. But a little bit about me. I devoted most of my career helping other youth overcome mental struggle. I know we have discussed this, but um, my life has been how can I help other my life has been devoted how can I help other youth, being that I also overcame and went through certain struggle growing up. And because I was able to, make sure and I was able to overcome that, I made it my homework to help other youth. Um, After devoting over a decade in the social service field, I wanted more for myself. I feel like I was capped out. I feel like I have given enough to others, but I haven't, I noticed that for me to help other people at a higher level, I needed to reach my fullest potential, and that's what helped me. That's what drove me to entrepreneurship, and in that search of entrepreneurship, I was able to, meet some great people and I met a great mentor of mine named by Parker, who's one of my mentors. Roberto is one of my mentors too. He doesn't only help families. He's a business coach who helped other entrepreneurs scale their business. And that's the beautiful thing about GFI. You know, it's like it's like going to Amazon. You're helping family, but you're also developing others entrepreneur. And I'm grateful for that. And yeah, so I was able to stumble across EFI. I'm a financial professional. We have a lot of titles, we're brokers, we work as the middleman. We and right now I help families with their finances, how to build wealth, how to protect their assets and things like that. And I've been here for 5, 6 months.
So thank you for that warm introduction. And just love how you both talk about pouring back into others, whether it's families, other entrepreneurs up and coming, because that is one of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur and being a leader in general, pouring back and creating other leaders and other entrepreneurs that come after you. So, what does a typical day look like for you, Claudio and Roberto?
Go ahead, Claudio. I'll let you go first, brother.
Well, a typical day right now, because when you work in finance, you you're working with other people's money, right? So you gotta get to a level where you gotta become like an expert, right? Again, Roberto is one of my mentor, so I'm working closely to him and other mentor of mine. I had to give her credit, Parker. Hopefully one of these days she could also join. But right now it's a learning curve. So it's a lot of training, a lot of, for me, of course, a day of for me is going to look different for someone like Roberto, who's training a bunch of other people who want to scale their business. But right now, a lot of trainings, um, and just networking, telling people, what is it that I do, tackling my families, and just networking a lot. So a lot of trainings right now for me, and a lot of expanding my business word to word, speaking to a lot, going to events, networking, and things like that.
I love that. What about you, Roberto?
That's so good. That's so good. I think with me, my day normally consists of meeting with clients and meeting with other entrepreneurs or other agents that are looking to scale their business and said yes to GFI, right? So main job is to push them through, the system, right? Push them through our pipeline, make sure that they chase independence and become independent agents, so that they can get in front of families and assist them with their finances and those dreams, right? Um, Now, outside of that, mainly throughout the day, it's just meeting with families from all walks of life, right? It doesn't matter the financial stature there. It can be someone that's just getting started with their finances, or it can be somebody that has already established themselves and is looking to diversify their portfolio, right? So there's people from all walks of life, businesses, things like that, right? So I do marketing through that. I do a lot of outreach in the community. I'm very plugged in with the local community, the veteran network here. So I just move my relationships, plug people in where they need to be plugged in, and then help clients, right? I help my clients secure their assets, roll over their funds from traditional vehicles to secure vehicles, right? Guarantee vehicles, vehicles that provide protection, and that's the big movement, right? We want to be in front of as many families as we can, truly pushing our message that a financially free future is real, and you don't have to give up on your dream.
I appreciate that because as someone who also work with families, one thing that I have made that has been made aware to me is that it's always important to build those relationships, especially having relationship with families who comes from all different walks of life, different experiences, different backgrounds. It's important to build rapport and have those relationships and also to be of service to help them in different areas. And it sounds like that's what both of you do in your different roles.
Absolutely. No, that's definitely it, right? Because everybody comes from different walks of life, right? I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, right? The hood is that's it made me who I am, right?
Mhm.
So I love that I'm street smart,
Mhm.
but throughout the years, right, especially throughout service is when I learned that I have to be book smart as well,
Mhm.
right? I have to be book smart as well. So then I meshed the two, which made me just a lethal weapon, right?
Yes,
Because
it
now
is.
now
The
I
book
know now I
smart
know
and
the
street
streets.
smart.
Yeah, I just put it together, right? So it's a really good thing, right? Because people normally where we come from, right? They don't give us a shot, right? They judge us the moment that we enter a room or the way that we walk, the way that we talk, right? And I know a lot of people that try to switch their dialect,
Mhm.
right? They try to switch the way that
Code
they speak so
switching.
that they're not identified, right?
Mhm.
Because they feel that imposter syndrome or whatever the
Mhm.
case may be, right? So I think it's great for us to get out there and help these families in all ways of life, all walks of life, because it doesn't matter, right? The information that we teach isn't made for one classification of financial stature.
Mhm.
It's not, right? The information that we teach is made for everybody. And this company was founded on the root of inspirational marketing, and it was founded on the root to get this information to the middle class workers, right? Because we're programmed and doctrinized so well to work and work and work, and retirement's not real, but I have to put my money in this vehicle because the company said so.
Mhm.
And now they're like, oh, I don't have options. Retirement's not guaranteed. I just lost my money again to the market. But what if there's another way? And that's what
Mhm.
we're here to help those families with.
I appreciate that. One thing that I love that you touched on is the challenges that we all face, because it's I believe that when it comes to challenges, none of us are in isolation or an island, so to speak. When it comes to certain challenges, especially when it comes to like financial challenges, those when it relates to like the household, family, income, those are challenges that we all struggle with collectively. So the fact that you're able to like help people with those challenges, that is, it speaks a lot to you and your mission.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
you also touch on imposter syndrome, which leads me to my next question for both of you. What are some challenges, if any, that you both have faced related to self-doubt, imposter syndrome, or limiting beliefs that have affected your role as an entrepreneur or in GFI?
Mm. I would say with me, a big deal with me was figuring out where I fit it, where I fit in society. Because right after high school, I joined the Marine Corps. So doing that, uh, that's all I know for my adult life, right? So since 18, I'm 33 now, and that's all I know.
Mhm,
So leaving the Marine Corps at that time was a battle because I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. I had my degree in leadership and organizational leadership and management, but I was like, oh, do I really want to do this? I stepped into government contracting, realized that that wasn't where I wanted to be.
mhm,
And I was just trying to figure myself out, right?
mhm,
And then I was trying to be something that I wasn't, right? Which is imposter syndrome. I was
mhm,
trying to be something that I wasn't and realized, you know what? I'm not a worker. I'm not a worker bee. I'd rather be the one building and
mhm,
executing and guiding and leading, right?
mhm,
I need that in my life. I realized that was a part of me and I yearned for that, right?
mhm.
So it was a big deal, especially when I got to this business, because the person that found me to bring me into this business was one of my old students in the Marine Corps.
Oh, look at
Right? So
that.
really small world,
Mhm,
right? So he gave me the opportunity, brought me into business, and it opened my eyes to this new world,
mhm,
right? Where I was like, where has this been my whole life,
mhm,
right? What if I would have learned about this while I was still in? Of course, things would have been very different.
mhm,
But what I love the most is that it's very similar to what we did in service, just without all the hostility or negativity or stuff like that, right? But here you get to truly blossom and help people. You're all on the same mission, right? You're all on the same mission and you're able to help each other win and succeed, right?
mhm,
So I realized, you know what? This is where I can be. So what did I do, right? I found something where I fit in. I didn't settle for the normal 9 to 5. I didn't settle for doctrinization, right? I just said, you know what? I don't fit in here. Let's try again. I don't fit
mhm,
in here. Let's try again. So I battled that, and I kept searching for the opportunity that was right for me, right? So I
mhm,
kept telling myself words of affirmations. You are worthy. You are worthy of success. You will find what you're supposed to be destined for, right? Trust in God. Trust the belief. Be obedient. Follow the word, right? And I just stayed obedient. I listened and I listened and I listened, and lo and behold, I found my home, right?
mhm.
So I would say just really just being obedient and listening to where you're supposed to be and following your heart and your gut, right? Find your home because there's somewhere out there for you.
And I love how you ended with that. You talked so much in great detail about how it's important to discover who you are. And you also talked about pouring back into yourself. You did that through affirmations, having the right mindset. And that is so important for each all to do, especially when we're at a place where we're struggling with self doubt, imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs. Those are all things we all struggle with. But it's all about how we're able to recognize it, become aware of it, and challenge it and overcome it. That's what makes us different, and that's what makes you unique.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. 100% right there.
What about you, Claudio? Can you tell me, has there been any instances during your entrepreneur journey or even currently while at GFI where you struggle with things like self-doubt, imposter syndrome, or limiting beliefs? And if so, how were you able to overcome those challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be vulnerable. It's something that I still have to face every single day and when it comes to self-doubt and limiting beliefs, um, like I like I said earlier, like when I was like in the social service field, right? I was a life coach. Um, that's all I have done, since I was 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I will share this, guys. I I was in a residential facility myself. I was in the system myself. I was at a juvenile detention myself. And I got out of the juvenile and I started working there. I became a staff years later. Um, and because I was such a success story when it comes to a youth that was designed, like everybody, the statistics said that I wouldn't make it, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
was able to make it. So I gave my life to them. I would say entrepreneurship is a different animal, to say it like that. Like my point is, all I know is that kind of work. And when I went to entrepreneurship, is just you're as a human being, you're stepping into something you've never done before,
Mm-hmm.
right? As a case manager, you're so used to the 9 to 5, you're so used to like other someone else writing your own paycheck. So now it's like now you're actually getting paid for the value you bring,
Yes,
you
indeed.
know? Um now so the thing about creating your own paycheck and that now you actually have to become valuable, right? And if you're not valuable enough, it's going to reflect, right? But it's not that the potential is not there. So that's when the self-doubt comes. Can I really do this?
Mm-hmm.
Can I overcome, right? What has helped me overcome that? Because again, like so used to someone else writing my paycheck versus now trying to create, my own paycheck, which is part of the freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
The freedom is, you'll get paid for the value you bring, right? And what has helped me is um like identity alignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, how can I create the habits, that's going to help me become the person I want to become, right? Um, and that is focusing on small wins, right? We all want big wins. What's helping me is focusing on the small wins and just stacking little wins, and then it becomes big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And self positive affirmation, reminding myself, that you could do this. And for me, the breakthrough really happens when you surround yourself with the right people. I can't emphasize that enough, right? You could be, I like to use this analogy. Like you could put, you could have a good seed, but if you put it in the wrong turf, it won't grow,
That's
right?
true. It's very true.
So you got to put yourself in an environment, surround yourself with people that is going to help you grow,
Mm-hmm.
because, behind every success story, there's another success story,
Mm-hmm.
right? People say you're a self-millionaire mate. No,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're behind a big teacher, there was a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So my point is, you got to surround yourself with people that is going to pour positivity into your life, you know? So for me, that's been big and massive here in GF5 because, there's a day where my faith may be lacking, but you know, I have Roberto who see the potential, you know, and pour into me, I have Parker or even Coach, that are helping each other, get to the level, So surround yourself with people that sees your potential and believe in you. So for me, just surrounding your environment, putting yourself in the right environment is key.
So I just want to thank you so much for that. I appreciate you just being real and raw and just sharing like your background with us and sharing how you were part of the system and how you went from being part of the system to helping others who are in the same situation, have been in the same situation. That just speaks to like the level that you are able to overcome challenges and be able to be a mentor for other people. You talked about the importance of mentorship, and Roberto, you touched on this earlier, how it's so important to not just be a leader or entrepreneur, but also to create other leaders and be mentors for other people who come after you. So you also talked about like some advice that you would leave with other entrepreneurs, such as like surrounding yourself with the right people. For you, Roberto, is there any advice or takeaways that you'd like to leave with other entrepreneurs?
Yeah. I feel like that's so big, right? We can go for days on that one topic.
Yes.
But I would say, believe in yourself, right? If there's anybody betting on you, is you, right? So believe in yourself, remove self-doubt because fear is the biggest killer of dreams,
Yes, it
right?
is.
And you won't be if you won't know the other side until you step into it, right? So a lot of us are afraid to step into that new version of ourselves, and that's what's preventing that massive explosion or preventing that massive boom in business. So I would say stop being afraid and listen to the guidance of your mentors, right? So just like
Mm,
Claudio bestowed me with the title of mentor for him, right?
yeah.
And it's a privilege and an honor to do. And that's just how I feel with all my trainees, right? I'm always available, right? So lean on your mentor. Ask them the questions that you're afraid to ask, because I guarantee there's some there, right? And truly, truly trust the process, right? Trust the process. When you're trying to be a millionaire, you surround yourself with millionaires,
Mhm,
and naturally you'll become a millionaire.
mhm.
But now what's your job?
Create more millionaires.
Create more millionaires, right? Get rid of that million and make other millionaires,
Yes.
right? So it's all about one, giving back to the community. Remember where you're from, remember what got you where you're going, right? Um, don't fall into the stigma of that percentile, right? A lot of
Mhm.
people say the first year in business is hard. Honestly, the first 5 years in business are hard. If we
Yes.
look at the statistics, the first 5 years in business are
5 years.
hard, right? So you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs. Stay strong, right? Push through, because I guarantee you guys on the other side, right? And I keep saying the other side, and if you're people of faith, you know what I mean by that other side,
Mhm,
right? Crossing that river, get to the other side because they need your help. It's
mhm,
that person that's saying there. Imagine you looking at yourself saying, "Come on, I got you over here on this side, but you have to trust me. Get through the chaos."
mhm.
Right? So I would urge you to look at yourself and say, "I'm worthy enough to get to that other side."
I appreciate that. And I just love those words of encouragement. For people that are inspired by your mission and want to connect more with you and learn more about what you do with GFI and as an entrepreneur, can you tell me how would they connect with you, Roberto and then Claudio?
Yeah. So you can find me on all social media platforms, right? It's at the real underscore Roberto Jimenez. On Facebook, it's just my name, right? But you can definitely connect with me. You can get on my website, greatnessfinances.com, right? And we can definitely connect and share some wisdom, talk entrepreneurship, talk mentorship, talk mindset, right? I'm all about having great conversation, and I'm all about networking and meeting people. So I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. And what about you, Claudio? Tell us how we can stay connected and get connected with you.
Yeah, so you could find me through Instagram by the name Wealth with Emilio, and Facebook my name Emilio Perez.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I really want to thank both of you for just being part of our Mindset Monday session. And I look forward to staying connected with both of you.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having us. It's a true pleasure, guys, and just lock in your mindset. Lock in your mindset.
Thank you.
Thank you.